write-up. Over the weekend, Municipal Chief Executive Officer of the Home Municipal Assembly and the Deputy Director of Public Health, Regional Health Directorate. We also spoke to some market women on social distancing and other related issues. Dr. Kwesi Jokoto, Deputy Director of Public Health of the Regional Health Directorate, said that the region had enough isolation centers. When asked about the isolations of those centers, he said he could not reveal the exact location of the isolation centers due to security reasons.
I have to understand the entire spectrum of health care service to be able to know how relevant the CHIPS compound would be in the fight against COVID-19. So we have preventive services and we have curative services. There are others like rehabilitative services, but I'll not focus on that. Only preventive and curative. And like the mantra goes, prevention is always better than cure. The CHIPS is Ghana's primary health care policy. That's the main policy for primary health care in Ghana. And when you say CHIPS, is an entire system. So you have a community management health committee, or sometimes you call it village committees. So you have your assembly member there, sometimes other unit committee members there, respected stakeholders in the community within the committee, and the community health nurse, and sometimes a midwife. So when you give them education about COVID-19 and you wanted to reach the entire population, so this is proper grassroots health care. They will be able to go down, speak to the people using the community information centers, and the people get enlightened about COVID-19 and how it is transmitted and how they can prevent it and what other measures you're going to put in place to make sure that people do not get COVID-19. So their role is absolutely important, critical. There's something we call surveillance. So if you look at the thematic areas, you have risk communication, we have surveillance, you have case management, you have logistics and funding, and we have coordination, like we talked about earlier. These are the main thematic areas. But somehow, when we are talking about managing COVID-19 or preparing and responding to COVID-19, people tend to look at only case management, what happens in the hospital. That is the basic flaw in the analysis. You are supposed to look at the entire spectrum. That is how come you get to know that having a very good surveillance system is good. So even at our points of entries, we have a surveillance system there. Even as you enter, granted, there's a weakness in it, and the weakness is that there's an incubation period. So if the virus enters you right now, it's going to take about 2 to 14 days for you to show symptoms. And within that period, if you travel, no matter the screening in place, we will not be able to pick. Maybe even if we could do mass testing with RDTs, rapid diagnostic kits, the viral load will not even be high enough for it. So there are weaknesses there. So people will still come in. But the surveillance cuts some of these cases out. Then you have community-based surveillance. So if the CHIPS compounds are going to work with the community stakeholders, and somebody comes in from Accra, they are aware that Accra is an epicenter. Immediately they trigger the system, and then they will advise you to self-quarantine, social distancing, all those things. When you begin to show symptoms, the CHIPS compound would immediately relay the information to the health center, the district hospital. You are sent there, and then you are screened, you are tested. If you are positive, you are isolated. So it's a whole continuum of care, and every part of it is extremely important.
The regional minister and coordinator of the Volta region COVID-19 team, Honorable Dr. Archibald Yao Leche, said that things were being well coordinated in the region. He added that a proper coordination accounted for Volta region's respectively low number of COVID-19 cases, despite the fact that it faces a risk of importing a lot of positive cases from Togo, with whom it shares border.
It's those of us from Accra who are bringing in
because
Nigeria.
Yes. Ghana is one country. You cannot make a law. Accra and Kumasi, Greater Accra, Greater Kumasi were under lockdown, but that has been lifted. We cannot put a barrier, say there's a border, you can travel from Accra to home. All we have to do is to continue to educate our people. You are here, you are about 8 from Accra this morning. Well, what can we do? We have no choice but to receive you. But it is up to us to make sure that the disease is with us. So what do we do so that even if 1,000 people come from Accra today, the disease will not be transmitted? That's the important thing. And that is the education of the hand washing, the use of sanitizer, social distancing. And if anybody feels unwell, you report to the facility who they have the protocol to follow. And we do the appropriate testing and isolation and testing and then we treat. So far we're not doing badly at all. The health staff, we have 18 assemblies, so we have 18 district public health emergency management committees that are at work, chaired by the various municipal and district chief executives. And we have the district and municipal directors of health who are helping the committee with it. We have all kinds of people on the committee. At the regional level, we have the teaching hospital, the University of Health and Allied Sciences, immigration services. We have the armed forces. We have the police. We have NADMO. So we have quite a complete set of technical people who are on the committee. So every day the doctor is just from a meeting. Daily meetings, they meet daily and I'm briefed on what is going on. So when there is an emergency, we all get together and put our heads together and find out what we're going to do. So for now, I would say that the cases were imported, we've got it with us, we've done a contact tracing, and some of the contacts have tended to be positive, and we are still also tracing their contacts. So yes, if you identify a contact, you must also, a contact is positive, you must go back and you must keep going until we are able to chase the virus and arrest the virus one day. I say that for now we are free.
So that those are the differences that you're looking at.
Doc, so you're showing
when you
us
get to a
that,
point.
Doc, so you're showing us that the few locals who got it through contact with the importees, for lack of a better expression, have been isolated such that we know that there's no possibility of community spread.
So the assurance I'll give you is that we have the capacity to detect early.
No, that's not the assurance I want.
And treat.
That
is the most important assurance. Whichever way the case presents, we should have the capacity to detect early. That is most important. When you detect early, you are able to isolate the person and you prevent a further spread. Because nobody knows how the case is going to come in. So you have to be ready.
No, that's what's going to happen. I'm talking of what has happened, Doc.
Transmission is a sign. As a scientist, you know what is possible and what you can prevent and what you can't prevent. So what you ought to do is to put systems in place to pick the diseases up early. That is most critical. No country, it started in China. Now we have over 200 countries. I don't think that any president in any country went to address the nation and assure the nation that I have all my borders catered for, so you are not going to have any case of COVID-19, because scientifically that is not possible.
No, Doc, you misunderstand me.
I think that just wait. I think Dr. has explained in the beginning that the cases that we've had in Aplau, for example, we think that there are some groups that are at higher risk. and therefore we put a mechanism in place to capture all of them, and we are taking the samples. So obviously, the important cases that we had, I've got in contact with some of our locals, and some of them had turned positive, and we are widening the net further to find out whether those who got in touch with those are the risks, like Okada, the Okada at the borders, those working at the borders, because we have evidence now that some of our border workers who got in touch with these people also got infected. So we try to detect or identify these people as early as possible so that we further isolate them and test them so that they don't also continue to spread.
So, Minister, where are the question that we have, where are they? Because so far we don't have any faces to cover nationwide.
We don't have any.
We don't have any faces to the elsewhere. There are faces like there's Idris Elba for America. There's Boris Johnson himself for the UK. There's Prince Charles for UK. In Ghana, we do not have any faces. So perhaps Volta region will lead us, in those quest for faces to COVID-19. Where are 16 infected people in the
Okay.
But if you say there are no faces to COVID-19 in Ghana, that would be inaccurate because you've heard about some mortalities. I actually even read it in the media. People, their faces, very known, popular people who have had COVID-19 and passed on. Yes, they are.
I know privately.
Not privately.
But
some in the media. You can. Yes, you can Google. Top professor dies of COVID-19 in Ghana. You see the names popping up.
Even sometimes when the names pop up, the family comes back to refute it. There's been so far, to my knowledge, there's been one public one. The family came back and said, no, that's not what killed her.
No, we are not talking about that. Obviously, there are stages of grief. And I must say that I sympathize with families who have lost people. It is a trying moment, very difficult moment, and we are with them in prayers.
Doc, so please, you're saying, I don't like where this is going. I'm waiting for my faces.
So
I'm wondering about the system.
So there is something in medicine that we call confidence.
Adam dola meliwo toviwo dome no sese nyende kako jido dome Adam dola meliwo toviwo dome no sese ve no nyo Adam ya wo cho wone Adam ya wo cho blone.
A drive to the home main market by team members of the couch, and the MCE revealed that social distancing was not being observed at the market.
So you're in the home market?
Yes.
Tell me about the home market.
Oh, the home market is one of the biggest markets in the Volta region. As you can see, people come from all walks of life: Accra, Tema, Kosombo, Pando, Keta, and Co. All over Germany, everybody comes here. At least traditionally, we have 4 days for the market. The 5th day is the market day, but because of the COVID-19, we have banned a specific day for the market. So almost every day is now declared a market day. Otherwise, you would have seen a lot of people converging here, and it would have been ago. But we have put a ban on a specific day for market day. So today it is just a normal day. Yesterday people were here, but not in large numbers, as even you can see now.
So you've opened up the market?
Yes.
Now every day comes
every day. No market day.
Wow. And so far I think that has been helpful.
Oh yes, it has helped a lot. It has helped a lot, and we are seeing some improvement, and that is going well with us.
Okay, so how many such huge markets do you have in the Volta region?
Oh, I can't count. Almost every district capital has a market. Almost every district capital, apart from, but they have, every district capital has a market.
So let's talk social distance.
Yes.
I don't see it.
You?
I don't see it. This
is better. It is better, but in under market situation, somebody will get closer and buy things. But it is better. It was too glaring that we were not showing this social distance before the introduction of that law.
Is it anything you did? Did you get involved?
Yes.
Okay.
We brought the soldiers and the police in to close the market for the whole day, and there was no marketing. So the following day, the people came in. Then the second day there were a few, but the subsequent days we brought the police and the soldiers again. So we got them confused. The next market day we didn't bring anybody, so the place was quiet. There were very few people here. So that is what we did. And now it is better. Today is supposed to be the market day. This is why you see people here. Tomorrow there will be very few people.
Less people. Do you think that this has helped with your numbers? For 16, it's impressive. You know, as a whole Volta region, to have just 16 recorded cases, that's very impressive. Do you think that it has anything to do with the measures we are taking here in the market?
Yes, and those cases too, most of them were imported. Apart from one person who had a contact with a victim, and it was transferred to him, her a 71-year-old woman. The rest were all imported cases.
So we are saying it's better, which means that you agree with me that there's more room for improvement.
Yes.
So what are we going to do about it?
We are still talking to the people. Today, before we came, we were in the markets to hand over the fire service, the police post, and the health center to the appropriate authorities. We have distributed about 600 packets of 600 units of the face masks to them. So we have brought in hand washing equipment, Veronica buckets, liquid soaps and others we have distributed to them. We are encouraging them to wash their hands regularly and sanitize their hands before they sell to people.
But so far we haven't come across one bucket.
Oh, it is located at vantage points.
We'll find them.
Yes.
We'll find them.
Yes.
And I'm not seeing a lot of the women in the mask. I see some of them wearing the mask. Not all
yes,
of them.
It is not all of them because it is not announced to them earlier. So now we have even gotten materials to sew some to distribute to them.
So how are you doing this? The education? How
we have the NCCE, the information service. They are always announcing to the people to keep social distance. No, they come to the market on their public address system. The radio programs, we have engaged almost all the radio stations, the assembly members. We distributed a recorded version of the educational material to them to be playing in their communities. So that is what we are doing.
So that's it for the market. Let's look around a bit. Let's see some things for ourselves. I'm very interested. So I mean, if you had your way, how would you want us to do the social distancing practically? For instance, this is a shop. You can't move here.
Yes, so you see there are no people there, but they are selling. Yeah. So, but you see, this is an unorganized situation. People will troop in, then they will converge at a place. But with our meetings and other things, we are sure we are maintaining the social distance. But with this one, it's quite difficult. We even have to relocate some of them at the RTC park. This has decongested the market a lot.
So that has decongested this market?
Yes. You see, otherwise, if it were the normal days, people would be struggling for way and for space to move around.
Sir, let me ask you this question. Lockdown, what do you think?
No, lockdown.
Lockdown, you didn't have to bother about coming to the market.
No, when we lock down, it is going to create a lot of hardship. So we are educating them to keep the social distance. So the lockdown we are working against. But if it becomes very necessary, then it will be. So far, Ho has recorded 3 cases, even though it's not good. But I think there's no death yet. So
far 3 cases?
Yes, so far 3 cases in Ho.
So that's your contribution to the system?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And none recorded so far in the market?
Oh, no.
But then it means that we are not testing in the market?
We are?
We are not testing in the market, are we?
No.
Testing we are doing?
Yes. No. If for those 3 cases, I think about 300 people. Earlier on, when we had 2 cases, about 215 people were contacts. Yes, they did contact tracing. That is how they had the additional one. That person had a contact with a victim. So that is how we recorded the additional one. So anybody who records this COVID-19, there will be contact tracing for each of them. Then we have team going around all these people daily. There are over 200 people. The contacts with the victim there, we have assigned a vehicle to them, and they go around. A team goes around to take their temperature and interview them every day within the community. The people are spread in the community.
I'm concerned about this market, this whole market.
Oh, it's not bad.
If we haven't tested, we will never know, right, sir?
Yeah.
If we haven't tested, we will know.
Yeah, but even those days when Accra was under lockdown, Accra and Kumasi and Tema were under lockdown, before you enter Ho, we test you. We had a gun thermometer, and we have a tool where we administer and see whether you have it or you don't have it. So before you enter Ho. But now, since Accra has been lifted, the lockdown has been lifted, we withdrew the people, and we are just under normal conditions.
Thank you so much, sir.
Right, thank you.
We've been speaking to the MCE himself. He has been gracious enough to come with us to the market, and we've seen ourselves, for ourselves, what's happening in the market. I would leave our very honorable MC to go back and do his job.
Let's visit the site at the police station and
okay, let's go.
Yes. You see, in fact, the market women has been experiencing robbery and thievery, and a lot of crimes go on in the market. So, the market is not fenced. So when they close like that and they tie their goods, the robbers come in and even take, you'll be surprised, even onion and bags of onion are taken. Some other things are taken, so the market is prone to robbery. So we decided that no, let's bring the police here so that at least it will scare the thieves and other people who indulge in. It's not only stealing, they gather there under the shade and smoke and do a lot of unusual things in the market. They play gambling and other things. This is why we need to bring the police here to restore order.
You are giving me a little history.
Yes.
About when the building itself.
Yeah, this building was completed almost 4 years ago, and it was not open. So I decided when I came in October 2019, I put it as one of my agenda to open it, and this is what you are seeing now. I have to resource these places with furniture and all those things. AC at some of the rooms here, so that my people who are working here are comfortable.
That first line, Estella will be happy. Okay, you're talking about another clinic as well.
Yes, there's a clinic to take care of. Yes, we commissioned the clinic, the fire post, and the police station today. So it was a great function here. Even though we maintained the social distance, we only invited the stakeholders and the market queens and the traditional rulers. We were just about 30 with the social distance, and we did it.
I'm very happy about this. I'll tell you why. In Madina Market in Accra, when it was shut down as one of the measures, because we're not observing social distance, most of the markets had robbers coming and still from them. A lot of them. So I'm very happy that at least here in the whole market there's a police station.
Yes.
Right here in the market.
Yes. This building was specifically constructed to serve as a police post. So there's a cell there too.
I'm wondering who will be the first person to use it.
Have you had any reported case?
No.
Okay.
Not yet. I'm very happy about this.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You can have a look at the clinic as well.
I think they have gone.
Oh, so this is the fire station.
Fire station.
This is the fire station.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the clinic.
The clinic. So what's the capacity of the clinic?
No, we have at least 5 beds.
5 beds.
It is for detention and observation.
Detention and observation.
Yes, when you fall sick and there's a need to detain you, maybe with drip and maintain you to be watched for some time. You are not kept here for the whole day, no night service. So they will just detain you. If maybe the case is beyond them, they will refer you to the municipal hospital or the teaching hospital. So you are just detained for maybe about 20 minutes or so. When you are left, or they will discharge you.
Wow, and all of this is happening today. Coincidentally, the day that I choose to come to the Volta.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you too.
After taking so much of your time, I'd like to release you.
Okay, all right.
Go back to your business.
Thank you.
Well, because we have been very privileged, so far, to have been walked around the Volta region whole, specifically we came to the whole market, we've been to the police station here at the market, we've seen the fire station, we've seen the clinic, and we've done all this with the help of the MCE himself. But now we'll let him go so that we can talk directly with the people to hear what they also have to say about all of these new developments as we all try to fight COVID-19.
Some market women gave their opinion on the issues of social distancing at the market. They also talked about the lack of vertical buckets to be used for hand washing in the market.
Hello, Fianinawo. Fianinawo, Nifonira, Nyawedelo.
What's your name?
Jifa.
And how long have you been here? Coronavirus, how has it affected your work?
Gakimia ko du chela ezogba chunzi meka benye ga me vasimela ntatrare kema yijina mo dore kema ga vale miawo Tambe mi ade kuku never present be wa dia tikere dolele ke be wa te ha bena mi akpoji je me mi afa su wa gatro do etepe sigbe dolela do nye gbo nye fe nya kimi ena be omega na be hosigbe we mi adiasi o ni le digbe si agbetara e mo le mi adumeken be mega tena de mi no klik be dolela fait a toto america alo agere mi no vi odomo sigbe le mi agbo kimi oh asiko kro ya le mi asi ai mi la cyclone o kwatikere o cheva mi ageda asi ni mi kulazi wo wa obe fertilizer mi akotutu asipete che
so how many where are the Veronica buckets?
Veronica buckets you came on
oh I don't stone le fimi dawe tanya zo ava class ni anto mi je chicha class fine class eme kuku nenya bote lock ge fiela ke do wu mi akukura ta mi de kuku dolela de no di atike be ma te va mi agbo be wa lock mi ave asimo go ma simo ko mi de na peduna akpere mi oje bye bye do jinire
Akper.
Bye.
Yo. Pastor, good evening.
Good evening.
Pastor, your first thing. Pastor say.
What is there?
Yeah, who here? You are drum. Yeah, who here? Na your first thing, ma.
Elizabeth.
Ma na coronavirus no. Whole market ha. Affect mo saying.
I say na musta ya ti say bi o. Na ye hun pa kona. Wọ́n say wọ́n ti ya ye chin shasa say the best is first no. Entimi tan kosa.
But you see who han nipa miensa na enyo bi. What's it?
Ma bire mi ntimi nipa anya do nti me si mi kofi a. Me mi odam nti mi tampie.
Na market hands so you see first na mo market days. See the day bia mo ba.
Kacho an.
Na mo market days na da ben.
5 days. As we say the ayare nti. Ye ban dai o chenya saba na e ma bia nko so mai.
But e ban the san time na mo market days. Any time na see the bia mo ba no. Difference ben na room aboa.
Difference be room. Na first day ye to ande na they say so she jonu ko a. Bet na was no I guess na wo ko fi. If you nko so mai.
Ye ntade. You see a close market in Soda.
Me de hunde pa chonti se ko se ye nya ibewu.
Yes, I see a close back with that anamebwa.
Ada be ni nko se a cha da be. Yes, so be se can tell no asa na wo be jo so be na bebi adi. This is you be three. Yes, dem say. No pe bebi mai ni ye say I pay dro bi mai na e dro no enko na e dro no stand cost say cost first.
My dro ni de bi ni ho. E dro ni bi ni ho nti say e di aban ka say yenye na na se ye hwe ni ye. Yes, see a market. I mean, it's not me. Man, me family too many. As I'm not been there.
No, yeah, buy no. First, no, they don't. Now they say they no. Into one don't papa. If they like a car, to be a me no.
Mom be mo. I say me say me ben pa o.
Oh, I want to be ho. To be a ben ho.
It's we customer ba no be ben, so dem ben we are. O ka den e che. Nka so ka dem say ya ko echi kaka.
Oh, so mu ba na mu jira nche. Say ato nyama na mo.
Nti so bi ba na ba won chen ya. Open ma net na won chen na opam na na den na ye.
Because say ya we won ti. Obi aso ba. Ko echi kaka say ya to nyama mo.
Na o max we here.
Mantobi.
Ade.
Se bana me de do ko ahata manu. Sana me ya no.
Ma ade na won to max CD.
Meto.
Da bem.
Me obi wo fie se me ba jom dem me famba. Hit munti.
Oshuwom.
Munti.
Na se ma ni se wuhia. Wuhia max.
Ehia.
Ya be ne dem.
Ande se me ba next time.
Misro. Baby fabra. Why? Mana o washe wonsa.
Bacha.
Na u soap ne wo we he nsuo wo he.
Me ni nsuo na mi wo. Kaza ya me do minister.
Nice. What for yente? Hand sanitizer.
That's
nice. Until all the young ones.
The minister. Se me discount no ya, me da minister.
Na market ha no, nsuo wa ha, any seminar wa ha, obetimi dia ho.
Me da nko obi a cho se nsuo wa se nsuo no, se me sumi o me de nti. Se he na ma fa.
Ba ya ko regional minister ho ya ko NMC ne ba ha. O se ya mamo bucket any seminar bebre o market. Me ba mi hu bi. E bi we.
First, if you are in Bayern, what is in Chono? They said, I want to be in hobby.
What is in here?
In Chono, so what says, so very more. A quite on with this, said any hobby.
Not near back home.
Then say back when I say near back.
But they are women that you're seeing in Sihobium.
Any hobby.
My that's why.
The mission must be brave. Mukod manus mine.
Amen. Yeah, that's very. Well, this is very interesting. This issue about the Veronica bucket is very interesting to me because the regional minister assured us, the MC assured us that the Veronica buckets provided in the market with soap, for the market women and the customers to use. Like I'm saying, I have not come across one myself since I've been here. And Madam Elizabeth is telling us now that she used to see one at the entrance, but it's not there anymore. And I can say it's not there because I also did not see one at the entrance. So we are on a Veronica bucket hunting expedition now. Let's try and find where the Veronica buckets are, where the soaps are in this whole market. Let's go.
Oh, 50 years was Yanamia. I don't Jonami. But Asia, I don't Jonami. Eh, be with them, Bella. You have me posse. I drown them. Tami Dakpe. So
please, I want to know about the price of the gari. Yes, we've been told that it has increased.
10 cedi.
The morning show host at Kekeli Radio gave an input on the role the media has been playing in helping to stop the pandemic.
Let me quickly say that we roamed the whole of the whole market. Well, not the whole of the whole market, but we roamed around a bit. And I did not see any Veronica bucket. I'm being very honest. I met people who said they had seen Veronica buckets. I kept asking. People said, I know where it is, it's here, it's there. But I personally did not see any Veronica bucket or soap for the market women. There was one at the police station, I'll say that, and the police station is in the market. But I did not see one, by itself, standing idle for the market women to use. Now, when we spoke to the minister, the regional minister, and also the Deputy Director, Health Services, both of them mentioned that they had been collaborating with the media in the municipality or in the region for the education on COVID-19. They spoke about working directly with the presenters and the media heads, specifically the morning show presenters, morning show hosts, in this education against or to curb the spread of COVID-19. Now, we have been very privileged to have met one of such presenters. We've been joined by Solomon Ahiable. Solomon works with Kekeli radio station. He happens to be the morning show host of Kekeli radio station. Solomon, hi.
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 Hello.
Okay. Let's talk about curbing the spread of COVID-19 in the Volta region and what your role as the media is.
I might say, using this opportunity to say thank you. Media being the fourth arm of governance, I can say in the Volta region we are doing our best because without information reaching the audiences, they wouldn't know what is happening. So media, we are playing a very key role when it comes to education concerning the COVID-19. And I might also say that we are working together with the health service, together with the regional minister, the municipal chief executives. They are very cooperative. So I might say we are doing our best as to educate the public concerning the COVID-19.
Oh, so the minister was telling the truth and the deputy director were telling the truth when they said that they've been working directly with the media here in the Volta region.
Sure, I might say it is true because.
So how has this panned out? How is this collaboration working?
More often they do call for media briefing as to inform the media as to what is happening, and then also having to do with some of the fake news we receive from other people, knowing very well that if we are giving out fake news, it means we are creating panic into the public. So more often they do call for meetings so that media personnel will meet together with the GJA in the Volta region led by one Mr. Kafi Kain. So I might say everything concerning the COVID-19 education, we are doing our best in the Volta region. And I can assure you that more of this will continue to happen as we fight this COVID-19.
So beyond the media work, beyond what you do behind your console, do you have educators moving among the people? Do people speak directly with the people about COVID-19, or just restricted to the media?
We always invite people who are vested into education concerning this COVID-19. So not only sitting behind the console, we go ahead educating the public. As I came to the market now to meet you, is one of such. So I might say we've been coming out to speak with people that we needed to speak with so that they can give education. Recently, I might say last week, we invited NCCE because they are also playing a key role as far as education is concerned. So we don't just sit behind the console, but we also go further to educate the public as to when to take care of themselves, especially the protocols to be observed. They must wash their hands, use of alcohol-based sanitizer, not being in a crowd, like social distancing, the use of the mask. So I would say everything is on course, and I can show you how people are thinking that the spread of this pandemic will be in the Volta region. Everything is on course.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Solomon. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Well, so we've been speaking to Solomon. This is what I would say. We are moving away from the markets because most of the markets even are saying that we are coming from Accra and we have come with a virus to infect them. I appreciate, their passion, their enthusiasm, and I appreciate that, they want to keep safe. I'm happy about that. Just the fact that they are aware and they want to keep safe. So let's move around. Let's go to the hospitals. Let's see if we can get other people to talk to within the region. Let's see how we are faring here in the Volta region, coronavirus-wise. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Come with it.
Nyendeka ko jido dome Adam dola meliwo toviwo dome no sese Nyendeka ko jido dome Adam dola meliwo toviwo dome no sese Veno no nyo
Oh